Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to another read through on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tmnt universe issue number 21. So in the last read through we saw the Turtles go up against Master Splinter to save the Triceratons and they send them all to Bruno Island, and yeah, so let's get into today's one. Let's go. If you do like this content and want to see more from this channel, please do make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment, and all that good stuff. Now let's get on with the video. Intruders! No one knows precisely what happened. It depends on who you ask, and who you trust. We come in. After their failed attempt to live among humans, the Triceratons had nowhere to go. In desperation, they sought refuge among their age-old enemies. But the Utroms had no true leadership. The death of Krang left them with no chaotic alliances and competing interests. Morel, an Utrom scientist, had broken the Triceratons' rival on Bruno Island. She insisted she cleared it with the Utrom's military leader. The military leader says otherwise. You have to stop this, Lieutenant Cleve. Stop what? Victory? I'm defending our people, as Krang would do, or Sharel. Krang is dead, and my dear brother Sharel was a war criminal who would be in prison if he weren't kept in status. But Cleve is right about one thing. We do need to defend our people, just not from the Triceratons. This island has extraordinary defensive capabilities, but there aren't enough of us to sustain and operate them. The Triceratons were a valuable resource once, and could be again, if we treat them as allies and not as our slaves. They stopped firing. What are your orders, Commander Zom? Throw down your weapons. But no! They attacked us. We must fight back with every... We always fight back with every breath. We give no quarters. Try to bulge on our way to prosperity. And where has it led us? So throw down your weapons, as I said before. We come in peace. Vutrons placed Morel in charge of Triceraton integration. She treated them as refugees and not enemies. Registered them. Provided temporary quarters until they could broker a permanent truce. Name: Jarrell, 3rd Battalion Triceraton Solo Trooper. I do not need your military record, Triceraton. Just your name will... Third Battalion. I lost my home to you people. How nice. They had a home to lose. The Triceratons have forever been slaves and refugees. So, you'll forgive me if... I will not be lectured by some science experiment gone wrong if you think... Enough! You're done. Go calm down. And very important for pastoral duty. Tensions were high on both sides. They needed a neutral meditator, a skilled and experienced negotiator who could diffuse their age-old anger and carefully guide them to peace. But instead, they got me. Hey, sorry I'm late. There's no need to apologise. I've suffered deeper wounds during sparring sessions. I'm more concerned about the damage caused to our fledgling alliance. Yes, finding peace was already going to be difficult. Now it may be impossible. No, not impossible. We cannot go into this viewing it as a lost cause. Of course, nearly impossible then. Well, hey, at least you agree on that. We didn't bring you here to shift our emotional hue, Turtle. Sorry, just trying to lighten the mood. We're attempting to overcome several lifetimes of hatred and distrust. The risk of sabotage is high. And I fear any disruptions will fuel the descent and topple this fragile ceasefire. Calls you a war criminal, says you should be in prison. I'll show her. We both will, Sharel, just as soon as I disable these damned locks. Grr! No, this has to work. We need your leadership, Colonel Sharel. But Rel and her allies have weeded out every loyalist but me, and I don't know if I can save our people alone. But I suppose I'll have to try. Let's try to start with the most pressing issue, which is food supply. Triceratons, like our earthbound ancestors, are herbivores. Outside vegetation will die in the transformed environment, so we must instead grow it here. You set aside a unity field for our needs. But our soil is rocky and space may not be enough, and a larger area may not be possible. Let's table our area requirement for now and address security concerns. Food is a security concern. Not for us, yes, Lieutenant, it is. There will be no security until everyone's basic needs are met. Let's focus on the crops themselves. I'm sure Triceratons and neutron scientists are working together on the issue. Morel, can you tell us what kind of progress they've made? Very, very little. There's virtually no chance crops will grow in this soil. It will make it grow, just as you Triceratons always have before. During the war, any time you catch a territory from us, the first thing you did was set up a food supply in any conditions, and we can never figure out how. I'm sorry, but I can't tell you. This is supposed to be a partnership, yacht, a new era between our races, and all of that. If you still won't share your little scientific secrets, then how do you expect this to... Trust me, Chirk. It's not an option here. But I know he'll keep asking, and eventually I'll answer, if only to see that smug Utrom look disappear for a moment or two. This was a mistake, Jarrell, coming to this forsaken island on this forsaken planet. I hate this place. This tiny room with no windows, this... You're complaining about windows? When we have limited rations and no food supply? I just thought it would be better here on Earth. It was supposed to be better. It will be, yacht. The Utroms still see us as beneath them. But we'll make them see how much things have changed. Oh, I see perfectly. These consistent demands for larger fields, for more living space, is clearly just a way to make us create more land. To give your race a strategic advantage when what? We are not preparing for war, and I assure you Morel agrees that. No, I don't. I want this to work, but I have to think about my people. This is a small island, and I'm very uncomfortable giving you even more land before we've exhausted all other options. Our scientists are making progress. There's reason for hope. We're making progress in the labs, but not in the fields, and let's just tell this for... We cannot table everything, Turtle. I tried to tell myself Morel was right. There was a reason for hope. No matter how short-lived, you won't secede more land, Utrom. Then we'll take it all. And once you're gone, Morel and her cronies will be so much easier to defeat. You fool. I know the Triceratons' battle tactics. You're used to fighting women and children. You think I'd bring a weapon that could be so easily turned against me? I know how deceitful the Utroms are. No matter. Huh? See your negotiating table. Lieutenant, are you alright? Who did this to you? I'm afraid I never saw his face, but it could have been any of them. Such a horrid little race. Violent, duplicitous, distrustful. But we don't. If we knew how many whom our silent was, then perhaps it could have been detained, and these negotiations could continue. But we don't, and so they cannot. Morel, control your people. Wait. It can't end like this. Lieutenant Cleve was lying. I was certain of it. He claims he never saw his attacker face, but he was stabbed in his front, as successfully fended off the attacker. It didn't add up, so I did what anyone in my position would do. I tapped into Bruno Island's security cameras, and began to track Cleve's every move. Morel managed to convince most of her due diligence to return to the negotiating table, so I split my time between negotiation and my investigation, found a way to build up the field upwards, or grow crops on the water. We find the initiative solution, what works for both sides. I wondered at the time if I was imagining things. In my helplessness, it led me to invent a problem that I could solve. What were you doing there? But the more I dug in, the more convinced I became that Cleve was hiding something. Alright, on to all the issues we tabled. Finally, I didn't know what. He was obsessed with the island's defense, its weaponry, but he was a military officer. I was so close to putting it all together, if I had just a few more days. And that's it. Both sides should take time to look the agreement over, but yes, we will. But instead, we have a peace treaty! Outstanding. Simply outstanding. We should ratify this as soon as this evening. A unity field. Unity field? That's a wonderful choice. Yes, lit. Clee's idea remarkably enough. Even the hardliners are finally catching up with the times. Yes. And if I had just had more time, then maybe we would have had something growing before ratification. Perhaps it's time for you to finally share your little secret with me, yacht. Our Triceratons managed to grow crops on every planet in Dimension X. Very well. It was a terrible problem. Early on in the war, the food shortages caused our soldiers to starve. They died horribly, millions of miles from home. But then we realised that dead neutrons make extraordinary fertiliser. So we ground up your casualties, spread them across our fields, and reaped the bounty that followed. You're right, Triceraton. That's not an option here, is it? No, Ultron. After all, we came in peace. Okay, so this is just a little backup story called How Woody Spent the Triceraton Invasion. Yo, Woody, got a delivery for you. Well, officials have confirmed the terrorist activity, they have yet to comment on non-witnesses' accounts, saying the attackers are in fact dinosaurs, guys. Huh? What kind of weirdo orders a pizza at a time like this? I hear you, bro, but the address is across town, wells away from that stuff. Typical media hysterics, if you ask me. Make some money, I say. Right, I guess I know the neighbourhood. Some friends of mine used to hang out there all the time. Drive safe, man. Watch out for weirdos. Bro, you don't know the half of it. Giant reptiles. Why did it have to be giant reptiles? So, 50cc single cylinder, don't fail me now. Gah! Holy cannoli. You made it. Great. And before my wife got back from the store, I was supposed to be on a diet, but this stuff on the news has me stress eating. You know, drive safe out there. All that for $5? Maybe it's time I move back to Portland. Wow, so yeah, that was a pretty interesting issue. I like how they are really delving into the Ultron's Triceratons history and the things which are going to be doing moving forward. The only thing which I don't really like too much about it was how it was a bit more political, I'd say, in a way. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I feel like you understand where I'm coming from in terms of like politics in a way with this issue. I feel like stuff like that they should probably keep out of it. But I do like how we're like trying to keep both sides and working together. So I feel like there's a lot of good stuff that goes with this issue, but I feel like because it's sort of semi-politics, it doesn't really work too well for me. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you do like this one, please share, like, subscribe and all stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.